It's Friday Night Live with Vince, pregame, postgame show. Your destination for top high school football previews and wrap-ups with Vince and his team. Buckle up and hang on for Friday Night Live. Welcome back to Friday Night Live postgame show here presented by the Varsity Sports Show with our co-hosts for the evening returning from Las Vegas, Ansley Pavlicek, and from Houston, Manav Gupta. Ansley, Manav, any surprises tonight? I know you guys have been monitoring a few of the scores out there.
For me, I think it's definitely got to be Brophy College Prep. I mean, they totally outplayed Williamsfield, even though Williamsfield had the better record. Give it out to them with the upset tonight.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, and I think Saguaro had a huge win. I think that was pretty impressive for them over Shadow Ridge.
Yes. Congratulations to the SaberCats finally getting back to coming up with a victory to end the season, and not a moment too soon. It's been quite a season for them. A little bit of turbulence, and but discovery of some leaders emerging on that squad. So congratulations to Saguaro with the win over Shadow Ridge. And that being said, let's take it on out. Let's start off actually with that first game. Saguaro's win over Shadow Ridge. We're going to send it out to Anissa Reynolds, and we'll turn it over to Manav. Go ahead.
Yep, hey, Anissa, looks like that was a big win for Saguaro tonight.
Sorry, I can't quite hear you, but definitely a great game out here tonight. Lots of energy. It was senior night for Saguaro, so came out really bumping. After the first possession, touchdown by Shadow Ridge, Saguaro managed to turn over the script completely and pretty much lead the show the entire way.
Yep, final score was 56-28, I believe. How did they put up so many points today?
I still can't quite hear you, but the player of the game for us was Ashton Pennell, the quarterback. Did amazing tonight, had a rushing touchdown of his own, while also being able to, find many receivers tonight and spread the ball around to lead them to the win.
And how was the overall atmosphere at the game? I know it's pretty loud over there with the music.
They put up so many points.
Yeah.
I think their communication tonight was very strong. They were all put together. They managed to, really lead the way. Like I said, they were in control of this entire game, and that was great to see from Saguaro.
Yeah, and what kind of went wrong for Shadow Ridge in the game? Looks like that music was pretty loud. They must be really happy with that home victory out there in Scottsdale. Pretty impressive win that they got to at the end of the season for them. So it's like Anissa may have gotten frozen, but
yeah,
what a game for
so anyway, they were so excited there that they cut off the internet. So congratulations to the Saguaro SaberCats on the season-ending victory over Shadow Ridge. And with that, we're going to send it out to Brophy with another big win tonight, and our very own Greg Zaber with Ansley. Take it away, Ansley.
Hey, Greg. I mean, incredible game tonight for Brophy. What went well for them, especially on that offensive side?
Just everything, honestly. Brophy looked absolutely fantastic. I think that this is the best the Broncos have looked all season. These group of guys really came together tonight. Last game, obviously the offense is led by a lot of seniors, the biggest of whom would be tonight, Case Vandenbosch, the quarterback, who looks phenomenal, ran the ball really well, passed the ball really well. And it's just, the past 2 years of watching him, this was really just what he does best, limits the mistakes, and just a great dual threat. And then for the running back side, Harrison Chambers, obviously a senior as well, had a really nice game, had a couple touchdowns. And the Bronco offense, we never saw a punter for either team, but the Broncos were never stopped at all. The only time they didn't score was on their drive where they kneeled it out at the end of the game. It was just an unstoppable offense. It was just incredible. Offensive lineman was great. Wide receivers were great. No drop passes whatsoever. It was just a game of perfection. It's the best game I've ever seen the Broncos play.
That's nice. And what do you think went wrong for Williams Field?
I mean, obviously you could start with defensively, but obviously the defense side of things was really, really rough for Williams Field. But Williams Field also had, I believe, 2 fumbles and 2 interceptions. So just those turnovers, you're not ever going to win a game where you have a -4 turnover margin. And giving Brophy the ball with good field position was just not a recipe for success. And those 2 fumbles to start the second half, that was detrimental, and they were not going to come back from that. So, yeah, definitely some mistakes that they got to cut back on in the playoffs.
Yeah, but a huge win for Brophy. Greg, thank you for covering the game tonight.
Yeah. And Greg, before you leave us, I do have one question for you. Tomorrow morning, the playoff show, and we'll be joined by Coach Jason Jewell at 10 a.m. on the Varsity Sports Show. But any ideas where they could end up? Yeah, so the Broncos came into this game ranked number 7th. Williams Field was number 6, so they obviously will probably leapfrog them. But I think the Broncos will most likely probably end up in that 6th spot. The Broncos are 6-4, which a lot of people are looking at and going crazy. Whoa, how are they the 6th best team in the state? But this is a Bronco team that has faced Basha, Higley, Liberty, and Hamilton. Those are their 4 losses. So I think that they're going to be behind those teams, but just because of how insane their strength of schedule has been, they're going to be up there, and they'll probably be 5th or 6th there. That's where I would assume. Last question. Who do you think they're going to play next week? I honestly got to check that, but it would not be surprising if we maybe get a rematch against Williams Field if they drop far enough. Yeah. Okay. That'd be usually, what is that, 6 versus 11 if they end up in that 6th spot. I don't know. Williams Field drops 5 spots or something like that. It'd be a lot, but not unheard of. You know? Nice work tonight, Greg. We appreciate that. Great analysis after the fact. So have a good night. We'll circle back soon. You as well. All right. Great job, Greg Zaber. With that, we are going to take it out to the other Greg out in Gilbert, East Valley at Highland High School, where they hosted the Mountain View Toros. And Manav, take it away.
Yep. Looks like Mountain View got a big win on the road, 41-34. What went down in this one, Greg?
I mean, so much. Probably the best and most enjoyable game I've called so far this year. Overtime thriller, at double overtime at that. I mean, Mountain View, they were dominating all game, but they had 4 turnovers to nothing, and you almost can never win football games that way. But they found a way. They just unbelievable what I saw tonight out of Mountain View.
Yeah, definitely sounds amazing. What kind of went down in overtime? Kind of give us like a rundown of that.
Yeah, so they have college rules. So both teams started. Highland actually on the very first possession of overtime, the very first snap, scored a touchdown. Mountain View retaliated, tied up the ball game. And then obviously going into that second OT, Mountain View starts with the football. Mountain View scores. And then, man, four straight stops right around the goal line. And Mountain View, rushes the field and steals the win on the road.
Man, that's pretty impressive for them. Who are some key players?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many to go around on both sides of the ball. I think for me, Talon Arnett is an unbelievable player out there. And, of course, he couldn't be doing without his quarterback, Brady Goodman, who's the Utah State commit. And defensively, Myron Christensen was all over the ball. And just everyone on that team deserves special credit tonight.
Yeah, big win for the Toros on the road. Looks like you had a great time out there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, and with that, now we had so that was a 6A regular season-ending victory for the Toros. Now we're going to go to first round of the playoffs, 5A, Desert Mountain hosting Gilbert. Had a chance to go out there in the first half, check that one out, and with our very own Jacob Nolde and Ansley. Take it away.
Hey, Jacob. I mean, a big win for Desert Mountain. Totally outplayed them. What did you notice about this game today?
Yeah, some of the things I saw overall really was so Desert Mountain's coming off back-to-back losses to end their season against Horizon and Notre Dame Prep. And like kind of the way they were able to turn the page on back-to-back losses and kind of just forget that and realize it's playoffs was really big. And from start to finish, just defense, offense, special teams, everything was just dominating.
And how did you mentioned them coming back? Was it just the way the players were playing in practice, or like what did the coach say about the game today?
Yeah, some of the things to talk about. One thing was big cleanup on penalties. I remember I was at the Horizon game that they played, and there was a lot of penalties from start to finish, and just a really dirty overall game. They kind of just shot themselves in the foot in both of those games. So today they barely had any penalties and really just took over on all sides. So I think definitely just like penalties and less mental mistakes on their end. Yeah.
And who is your player of the game tonight?
I mean, I think for everyone, it was Easton Connor. He had 3 touchdowns, over 200 yards from scrimmage, and he even had a sack too, unbelievably. So he was kind of like all over the place from start to finish, and yeah, just really dominated the game.
Yep, got that Travis Hunter both sides of the ball going. So Jacob, thank you for covering the game, and I hope you have a great night tonight.
Cool. Thank you guys. You too.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right. So another big win, and Desert Mountain back on track with the victory, first round of the playoffs. We look forward to having Coach Conrad Hamilton on with us tomorrow morning at 9:15 on the Varsity Sports Show. Let's take it on out now down to Tucson with our very own Patrick Cohen. Another big upset.
Yeah, certainly it was a big upset. I mean, just an absolute. It was stunning. Estrella Foothills were trailing 14-0 in the fourth quarter, and they came back and won it in overtime on a walk-off field goal. I mean, it was just unbelievable, Monov. Unbelievable.
Wow, what were the scenes like after that field goal? They got done on the road too.
Yes, it did. And, they drove 3.5 hours all the way from Goodyear. So, I mean, and that's, if that's not a slog, I don't know what that is, but it was just an incredible game. We thought Saguaro had it in the bag. We honest to gosh thought they had it in the bag. They were up 14-0. They seemed to be dominating. And yet somehow, some way, the Estrella Foothills Wolves found a way to win. And it was just, you could just hear a pin drop on the Cougar sideline, and they were so demoralized. They were like, "This is how our season ends." So it was unbelievable. And I wish you were there, Monov. It was a great environment.
Yeah, I can tell. Definitely was one crazy game for sure. What kind of went down? What were some big plays at the end that really got them back into the game?
Definitely, I would say, they were denied. They were scoreless throughout all first of the 3 quarters, and then in the fourth quarter, they just stormed back. Their quarterback, Mickey Raftery, struggled a bit in the first 3 quarters, but finally something clicked in the fourth quarter, and then he just became unstoppable, and he was able to get his team into the end zone. There were several key trick plays that the Wolves did to get into the end zone, and that led them to tying the game. And then just a few moments later, in the first overtime, they got the field goal team on and kicked it through the uprights for a win. And the Wolves sideline and the Wolves several people who made the 3-hour drive all the way to Tucson just went bananas. Absolutely bananas.
Wow, what a win for them. Pretty demoralizing for the other side, but thank you so much for your coverage, Patrick. Looks like you had a great time out there.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Monov.
Awesome. We're going to send it out to a commercial break now.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. With an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat. APAC is your one-stop source for all your automotive and heavy-duty air conditioning parts, supplies, and equipment. They're family-owned and have been the Valley's go-to for all your auto AC needs since 1982. Whether it's for your everyday or vintage car, commercial, or off-road vehicle or equipment, APAC has you covered. Call APAC, A-A-P-A-K, the AC experts at 602-254-1116 and ask for the Varsity Special to get 10% off your purchase. Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
All right, welcome back to our post-game live show. I'm here with Ryan Gaylord, who covered St. Mary's and Deer Valley. Man, Ryan, what a crazy game. What was the key moment for St. Mary's to get this win?
Oh, yeah, like you said, it was a really crazy and good game, but the key moment, it came in the fourth quarter. Deer Valley had just scored a touchdown, and they were thinking about going for two, but then St. Mary's called a timeout. And then they changed their mind and decided to kick the extra point, and St. Mary's blocked the extra point, and that ultimately that gave them the game, and that had them win 29-28, gave them the 29-28 win.
What was the atmosphere like? Because it was at home, it was at Deer Valley. So what, like, knowing that like they blocked that field goal?
Well, we were on the St. Mary's side, the broadcast was, and the fans, as soon as they saw the extra point get blocked, they just went crazy, and St. Mary's, all the team went crazy. So the atmosphere really went electric after that took place.
That's nice. And then how do you think the player of the game affected today's outcome?
I think he affected the game a lot because we decided to give it to a running back for St. Mary's, Branson Brown, and I'd say he at least had a minimum 25 rush attempts, and he was just like, he was carrying the offense for him. I mean, their quarterback, Luke Horn, did a good job, but you knew that they wanted to establish the running game early on and all throughout the game. And Branson Brown did a really good job of being able to carry the offense for him.
Yeah, what a nice win for St. Mary. Was able to get it done, a 1 point off a blocked field goal. So, Ryan, thank you so much for your coverage today.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome. Great job, Ryan. I had a chance to get out to that game tonight. It was actually out at Thunderbird High School. And a very electric atmosphere. St. Mary's travels very well and not very far from Deer Valley also. So a lot of folks on both sides representing. So great game tonight. Another great game, and actually it was a great game for ALA West Foothills over Yonker, and what a difference not having your quarterback can make. But let's bring on Jorge Guajardo with Monup. Take it away.
Yep, Jorge covered a great, really dominant win for ALA West Foothills, 40-0, I believe, in the playoffs. They move on. What was that like?
Like you said, dominating. Really, this game was never in question for the Guardians. Yeah. Yonker not having their starting quarterback made a huge difference. The backup Vargas came in and he didn't necessarily have a bad game per se, but he just struggled, locating his receivers and getting the ball downfield, and it obviously affected Yonker to a great degree. And the Guardians defense, which has been great all year, just really feasted tonight.
Yeah, it looks like it was pretty dominant, especially in the first half. What kind of really gave them all the momentum in the beginning? Or some big plays?
Turnovers. I mean, every time Yonker seemed like they were going to get rolling and get going, they coughed the ball up, whether it was an interception or a fumble. Another key thing to note is that they lost their two top running backs as well. Their starter, Hargrove, went down with an injury. You hope he's okay. And then Antonio Lopez, their backup, who was having a nice game up until he fumbled, also went down. And so it was the turnovers and then a couple of huge plays offensively. The Guardians had a 83-yard touchdown screen pass to Kenyon Rosenthal. And then a couple of series after that, a 90-yard wide receiver reverse to Carson Callister to really just top it off in the first half.
Awesome, and were one of them the player of the game for today as well?
Yeah, that was Kenyon Rosenthal. He easily had over 150 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. He obviously had that 83-yard catch and run screen pass that really just set the tone. So he had over 200 yards, from scrimmage. He was just all over the field. He didn't even need to play in the fourth quarter to get that. So he was amazing.
Yep, great night for LA West Foothills. Really unfortunate to lose all those players to injury for Yonker, but great coverage out there, Jorge. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Jorge. Nice job. And with that, we are going to send it back out to Las Vegas for the Centennial Green Valley game. What a game. What a game. And for semifinal action in 5 days. So take it away, Andrew.
Marla, what was really working well for that Centennial's offense tonight?
Had to be Dunlap Myvet. He wasn't even listed preseason as their quarterback. He was JV's quarterback last season. He's listed as wide receiver and safety. He's their quarterback, and he absolutely can air out that football. He's just got such an arm on him, and he's quick. He can scramble out of the pocket, and he gets about 10 or 12 yards every single play.
Oh, that's incredible. How did the quarterback affect the game today?
He did have a huge effect on offense. He was every single play, he had some part in it. And I got to say, even a bigger part of this game was Centennial's defensive line. They played probably as perfect of a game as you can play. They had no sacks, but they were just such a brick wall. Pressured the quarterback every single play. He never got off really any passes that were near his wide receivers.
And I was going to ask you about Centennial's defense. They played amazing. How do you think that affected Green Valley too? Because it seems like Green Valley kind of was frustrated, or not like, but you get what I'm saying, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So Green Valley's got an exceptional quarterback. His name is Michael Lewis. He's got, I believe, after this game, 2,000 passing yards on the year. He's a really good rusher too, but he was getting frustrated all game long. You could tell he waited in his pocket. He usually has a huge amount of time in the pocket. Only had 3 seconds in the pocket, and he's a 4 or 5 second passer. So he didn't get any passes off. That defensive line was perfect, and they had a couple defensive backs. One was Max Miles. He was, every single time there was an interception or any sight of like batted passes, he was there. He was exceptional for Centennial too.
Well, Marla, great coverage over there at Green Valley for Centennial. Centennial plays next against Faith Lutheran, so that's definitely going to be an exciting game. So, Marla, thank you for your coverage.
Yeah, thank you. Bye, Ainsley.
Bye.
Awesome. Well, now we're going to go out to Sacramento in California, where Rodolfo's got some great coverage for us tonight. Rodolfo, what do you got for us?
Well, so as I was saying in the pregame show, there's no playoffs today. There's a bye week here in Sacramento, but playoffs start next week, and they're very exciting matchups. It's basically next week it starts the quarterfinals with all the 8 teams playing, then it moves to the semifinals, and then November 28th, that's the big final. That's gonna be it's gonna be played in a college. That will be Sac City College. So looking out.
Awesome. And are there any interesting players that we should be looking out for next week?
Yeah, I mean, let me tell you, I was looking at all the rosters and the teams and commit players. There isn't a lot of commit players from a lot of teams except the top teams. Obviously, you got Folsom and against Downey. And like I mentioned in the pregame, Rios and Rider Lions matchup. The both quarterbacks are committed. One of them is committed to BYU, and the other one is committed to Arizona. That is an important matchup because we will see how it plays out. And actually, it's going to be very exciting matchup. We'll see how it goes.
And which game are you kind of looking forward to the most next week?
Well, I'm looking forward to most next week. Actually, it's going to be Grant against Edison because Grant last year was also they ended up facing in the finals Folsom. So they're expected to go back to the finals, but this year they were up and down and the team wasn't looking great. So we will see how it plays out this year, because Folsom is looking to repeat for the 5th straight time, but we'll see how other teams compete and chase them down, because Folsom had an up and down year, but it's still a powerhouse. So we'll see how it goes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Rodolfo. Really appreciate it. Now we're going to be sending it out to a commercial
All right.
break.
Thank you, Mom.
Hello, I'm Andrew Neeram, a junior at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. I'm excited to show the Varsity Sports Show everything that I can offer on any side of production as I express my love for this business throughout the fall of 2025.
Hello, Varsity Sports Show family. I'm Tommaso Perez from ASU. Join me as I bring you inspiring sports stories and updates from our Catholic schools, where faith, tradition, and athletics come together. Catch me live on KDOS 1060 AM, Saturdays from 9 to 11, and during Varsity Sports Show game broadcast.
Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show. Our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating a platform to promote young people in extracurricular activities and community outreach. If you are interested in partnering up with the Varsity Sports Show, find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or call or text us at 480-779-9437. The Varsity Sports Show, Arizona's home for youth, high school, college, and you.
Welcome back to Friday Night Live post-game show. Vince DeLisio here with Ansley Pavicek, reporting from Las Vegas, Nevada, and Manav Gupta from Houston, Texas. Guys, another big week in high school football. We are not nearly done, as tomorrow morning we're going to further wrap up with the coaches of the games from tonight's coverage, and that'll be from 9 to 11 a.m., Mountain Standard Time here in Phoenix, Arizona, 8 to 10 Pacific, and 10 to 12 Central. Vince DeLisio once again here from Friday Night Live on behalf of our amazing field correspondent team from all over Arizona and Nevada, and our co-hosts Ansley and Manav. Guys, thanks again for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow morning, or you'll hear us tomorrow morning on the Varsity Sports Show. Have a good night, everyone.
It's Friday Night Live with Vince, pregame, postgame show. Your destination for top high school football previews and wrap-ups with Vince and his team. Buckle up and hang on for Friday Night Live.